impressed you most the last 2 weeks out of what you've seen from Trey?
I mean, Trey's just, he's got a really good work ethic. He's going to approach this like a pro in every way. So, understands what it takes to, at this level to be at the best of your game and what it's going to take from you as a player, to your energy and what you have to put into it. He's done a great job with that. He hasn't left anything that he's done everything he can to make himself be the best version of himself he can.
That 40-day period seems to really stand out. What was your role in kind of communicating with him and helping him, continue to learn and kind of drill down that playbook during that 40 days?
Yeah, I think we were fortunate that we were able to have some OTA practices, and I think that for the development of any young quarterback, without that, it's very, very difficult. So in that time, you're able to see the things that he does well, the things that he needs to work on, and his learning style, and all the things that are going to help him accelerate his growth. And so knowing that, we were able to, have a good plan going into the off season. He was very diligent about it, and I think it's paid off for him, and we've seen good results.
What is that learning style? You said?
Well, I think every quarterback has you reach different guys in different ways. It's just how they can attack things and how you can get the point across and how they absorb it, whether it's visual or exhausting every learning mechanism possible to help a guy grow and be his best. And with Trey, he just he can absorb a lot of information. He's good at it.
He hasn't played much in a game, obviously, in these 2 years. So what are these exhibition games going to mean to get him in, and what do you want to see out of him?
I think the exhibition's important for the whole group. I mean, we're all developing our craft within the system. We got new players. Jimmy is, trying to be the best he can play, most confident he can play. I think they all have to approach it just that we went a year without preseason games. The ability to attack that and get your mind and body ready for the season so you're hitting it at peak form. I think it's important. I think they know the urgency of that, and we're going to attack it.
What are the challenges of creating a plan for the season when you might, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like it's a situation where you're not entirely sure how much each guy is going to play or what the situation is going to look like. What are the challenges creating a plan going into the regular season when there is a little bit of uncertainty, I guess?
Yeah, I don't see it as a challenge. I think that with each individual within our offense, you're just trying to develop the way you're going to play with each player and help them be the most comfortable they can be within how the offense looks when they're on the field. Obviously, I think we've always done a great job around here of adapting to players' strengths and allowing that to be their best version of themselves. And I think that's a real strength of what Kyle does and how we attack things. And I think that's just the overall approach with the room. And each one of them is different. It doesn't matter which quarterback room you have in this, it's always going to be that way. And our skill sets are going to vary, and their minds are going to vary, and how they play the game. And it's our job to be efficient in attacking that and let them, allow them to be comfortable.
Do you have to be more fluid and adaptable throughout training camp in terms of setting those plans as you learn about Trey and what he can and can't do?
Say that one more time.
Do you need to be more fluid and adaptable in terms of learning about Trey, like what he can and can't do, and then, he can do this, maybe we can implement this into a game plan come September or whatever?
Like I said earlier, I just think the OTAs was very helpful. I think for any rookie quarterback, any player, it's coaches have to figure out them, and you're trying to absorb like how they can help the team, help themselves, and I think that was where we were able to accomplish a lot of things in the springtime, to just kind of lay a foundation going into the season for, hey, how are we going to attack this to accelerate your growth? And I think that's for all of them. We do an individual plan like that, and they all attack it, and I think they're all playing at a high level and working their butts off.
How has Jimmy Garoppolo changed since you last coached him, or is he the same Jimmy you remember?
I think, like just being in this environment, playing in this offense for multiple years obviously is going to help your growth as a player. So, Jimmy's unfortunately had injuries and some things that have happened, but as far as his growth as a quarterback, I'm just excited to work with him every day. Just the way he approaches the game and where he's at. It's my job to help him just, play his best and be the most confident player he can be.
Is there a curiosity factor going into OTAs with him, with Trey? How little he played in college. What was it like? What were your expectations going in there? And was it just something where you were just waiting to see what he would present to you, to sort of kind of govern, everything that has kind of happened since then?
Yeah, you do your due diligence during the draft process to get to know the things about all the players that you're looking at, and you hope that from that it helps you gain some knowledge that when they step in the door, you're able to have a plan that lets them get going, and then you adapt once you get around them to see where they're at and where you want to take them and how it's gonna all work out. But I think that with it's for me personally, I've had to go through a few different times now with young quarterbacks, and so I feel like it's been exciting to work to collaborate with someone and help him kind of lay that path out, and he's done a good job.
I apologize if you've been asked about this already, but there's a report today sort of that you guys are looking into packages. Kyle obviously mentioned that Trey's going to play, and there are some packages for him. How do you sort of manage wanting to get Trey's skill set out there in certain packages and sort of navigating having two QBs, because there's always talks about can two QBs at the same time work. How do you sort of navigate that challenge?
Yeah, I think that right now we're just taking it day by day at practice, and just whatever's installed is schematically, we'll just work on that individually that day and try and master our techniques within our system. And for Trey, there's a lot of stuff because he's a rookie. He's never done a lot of these things. So all that stuff is all down the road. But right now, we're just kind of honestly, we walk out on this field every day. We know what we're attacking in practice and what's installed and what the day presents. And we're just trying to do the best we can and not get too far ahead of ourselves.
What do you see from Josh Rosen? Kyle said he took a couple steps back yesterday.
I think, like any quarterback, it's difficult when you have a finite amount of reps and you're not one of those top two guys who's getting the majority of the reps.
Right.
You have to take advantage of those opportunities, and when one or two plays doesn't go your way, it can look more significant when you only have a few plays. And so I think like any quarterback in that situation, you just got to keep working every day. It's day by day, and you got to, when you have one day like that or 2 days, you attack the next day, and it's always going to be a flow of ups and downs. You just got to go out there and be the best player you can be and let the chips fall where they fall. And I think he's done a good job.
What do you like about Nate Sudfeld? You've worked with him before.
I was fortunate to work with Nate in Philadelphia, and we had a very good relationship. And it's kind of what happens to some of the players in this league. They're backups, sometimes quarterbacks, and things that are out of their circumstance, they never see the field. And he's just been in the league for a few years and hasn't had an opportunity to play very much. And so you get hidden, and you may be evolving as a player. And I was fortunate enough to be around him every day, so I could see the type of mind and person and player he was, and how he could fit in our building and play in our system. So it's exciting. The group itself has been great. They work hard at it, and he's just one more layer to the whole room.
When you only get 3 or 6, 11 or 11 reps per practice, like some of these quarterbacks do, they sort of have to fight the urge to, I have to make something happen on one of my reps, even though it might not be there on that play. I mean, is that something that they have to battle?
That's a great question. It's honestly, you have to play within your offense, whether you're here or anywhere. But there's that fine line of where you're able to showcase maybe something else, and that is the instinct of the player. And but you never want to go rogue, So it's a real fine line. And these guys really have done a great job at that point, and they understand that. We see the whole picture. It's how they interact in a meeting room. It's how they do their walkthroughs. It's the preseason reps they're about to take on. All those things are factors that you have to account for when looking at those quarterbacks that don't get all the reps.
Chronicle. I had a question about Trey Lance. Bob was just talking about he's gotten more accurate in 40 days. Kind of this conventional wisdom. I don't know if you subscribe to it, but if the guy's not all that accurate in college, he's not going to be suddenly accurate in the NFL. Obviously, Josh Allen has just proved that among other guys. But I guess, was it surprising that he came back noticeably more accurate in 6 weeks?
I could talk for hours about this. It's one of my favorite things to talk about, but I'm not going to. I love the fundamentals of it all, but what I will say is, with all quarterbacks, when you're trying to improve on throwing mechanics, Trey or anyone else, there's some fundamental things that a guy has to master, and you never know how long it's going to take that individual. Some guys, like Dak Prescott has always impressed me as someone that has improved his throwing mechanics as much as anyone in this league. And I had the experience with Drew Lock and Nick Mullins had issues. All these guys, you never know when it's going to click. But we understand that within our system, the way we teach things, it usually is able to bring out the best in them fundamentally. And so that's a credit to Kyle and how we approach things. So whether it was going to click, when it's going to click, all those things. Yeah, we're seeing some results when it's on the field and you see it live, then you'll know for sure. But he's done all the things he can do to this point to help himself get there.
I tried to mine Coach Bobby for specifics about his mechanics. He did offer, this is on the record.
Okay.
He did offer.
I would not for anything.
But I would just say, speaking generally, that he now has a much stronger base. And before he was a little off platform, talking about in college and OTAs. Is that fair to say? Can you add anything to that as far as what does it mean to have a stronger base?
Well, this is like we're getting into some deep stuff with quarterbacks. Like I said, I could talk about this for hours. But the reality of it is personally, I'm not big on ever feeling like you're going to adjust a thrower's ability to be a better thrower with his upper body, especially as little time as you have to be a good player in this league. Where you can improve the most is in your lower body, and that's where more of the issues come with somebody not being accurate, Trey or any other player. It's actually a reflection. Jimmy is as good as you'll ever see with his base in the pocket and how he can do stuff. He's very, and Trey is, that's how we coach all our guys to do that stuff, and Trey's embraced it. And I think it's been reflected in his play, which has led to improvement in his game overall, and we'll see how much he can continue to improve and where it leads.
Does it help that, I assume everyone coaches possibly might coach mechanics a little bit differently. In the area we're talking about, does it help that John Beck knows this is what Kyle wants?
Yeah, I think that again, you're getting into some good stuff. Like John is, it's nice that I have had a relationship and Kyle's had a relationship with John. Going all the way back to Matt Ryan and the the House guys, working with our quarterbacks. They understand our offense. They understand how we like them drilled, things that are going to be required of them to play, and to allow our guys to go work with those guys has been very, very beneficial. Nick did it, CJ did it, Jimmy's done it. We've had a number of guys, and Brent Rippon, Drew Lock, guys I've had, send it. I think that they can help be a bridge. But in the end, it's up to the player to go work and do his work to get better.
Last one on this, but can you say, I mean, everyone's always work in progress, can always get better, yada, yada. But when you look at Trey now, do you say you just kind of got it? I mean, just as far as the specific things, as far as that specific mechanical flaw he had.
I would just say fundamentally, they all are working every day, and it's always a work in progress. And for where you get and where you top out at, and your abilities as a natural thrower in this league, I don't know that you ever stop working at it. I mean, Matt Ryan's biggest breakthrough was, 2016, and he made a fundamental change to in his footwork to our offense. It had a huge impact on his game that you may or may not know, and that was late in his career. So I think you never stop evolving, and you have to work the craft. It's part of being a great pro.